Twan Russell, he is subbing in for Javon Holland today, who's in concussion protocol. And Twan's on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Twan played linebacker for the Canes and the Dolphins. He's the athletic director at St. Thomas nowadays. By the way, his Russell Education Foundation has their inaugural pickleball tournament Sunday, November 12th. You can register, get details at russelleducationfoundation.com. Before we talk football, too, reminder, Caneswear in Davie is where you get geared up for the season. Canes or Dolphins, visit the store on University Drive or check out caneswear.com. Thank you for subbing in, Twan.
Hey, I've been a backup all my life. I mean, I'm not like Charter. You know, Charter leads the charge. He's in front of the team when they run on the field. I'm usually like the 23rd or 24th guy in the back, right behind the starters. So this is normal for me. I'm right at home.
We appreciate it.
Somebody yelled Twan Russell. Through your career, nobody yelled Twan Russell starting at will linebacker?
They did, but somebody had to get hurt first. Somebody be laying down in the middle of the field wondering if they're going to play again. Hey, Twan! And I'm running on the field happy. I'm not happy that he got hurt, but I'm happy that he can't play.
Whatever gives you the opportunity, man.
Every opportunity I received came at the expense of somebody else, so I appreciate it.
Before we talk, I do want to talk Dolphins and the alumni weekend a couple weekends ago because you were there. But the Canes, they won on Saturday. Dolphins lost Sunday, but the Canes, that win, I thought, Twan, was super important because you stopped the losing streak at 2. You beat a decent team in Clemson. Could have gone either way. I kind of feel like that win goes a long way for them.
It's a big win for them. If they lose that game, I don't know if they can recover. I mean, if you lose 3 games, you're questionable whether or not you're going to get a credible bowl game, and then you're going to have to win out to just get in a bowl game. I mean, I know guys are getting in 5-5, but do you really want to go play in a 5-5 bowl game? So for me, I thought it was one of those opportunities for the University of Miami to win a signature game, and people can say, "Hey, Clemson's down," but still, they're a quality football team, and we closed them at the end. To see those guys' excitement, they're never going to forget that feeling. And once you feel it one time, you always want it. So, I watched the whole thing. They, regardless of the quarterback was supposed to hand off or keep it, I don't care. He kept it. We got him on the ground. My favorite part of the game was watching those kids run all the way to the other side of the end zone and dancing like it was 1999. Like they were having a blast. And those are the moments that change momentum in a program. When you have a big game, people work for that feeling. It's an addiction. And I hope that we get addicted to it, because what's going to happen, kids are going to sacrifice more. They're going to figure out ways to win. And once you do it once, you can figure out ways to win more. So I was excited. I thought it was a great time.
And Emory Williams, the stat line is something special now. 24-33, not crazy yards, 151, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But for him to be able to get a first career win over an ACC team, how he did in overtime, not panicking, do you correlate that to anything of success in the future? Because TVD is about to play on Sunday sooner or later.
100%. He played. I thought he played with a lot of poise. I mean, he led the team down. I mean, he was not perfect, but he was a game manager. I was excited to see him, get that in front of him, because I didn't know anything about him. I didn't know if he was going to be able to, pull it off, and to be able to see him manage that game all the way to the end and make sure his team won. That was exciting.
Twan Russell is with us. Let me talk for a second about the Dolphins, but I'll go back 2 weeks because a couple Sundays ago, Dolphins alumni Crowder was out there. Rondé Gadsden was out there. You guys were all honoring Zach Thomas. At halftime, Crowder pumped up the crowd before the Carolina game, and then the Dolphins came out flat. Twan let up 14 points before they knew what happened. But I asked Rondé, I've asked Crowder, like, who's the Dolphins alumni guy that you look forward to seeing most, where you just know his stories and his attitude and his jokes? Like, you just love knowing that, hey, I'm going to this event, this guy's going to be there.
I mean, OG is one of those guys that he always
That's
has a
what
good
Crowder
story,
said.
right?
OG's my guy too.
And we
Twan.
see him all the time.
I mean, whether OG is drinking or not drinking, like when he's drinking, he's a little bit more like animated, but when he's not, he is a great communicator, a great storyteller. Like he has everybody holding on every word, so he's always fun. I mean, hear the old heads like Joe Rose. You get him going. He's eloquent. He's getting it out there. But probably my favorite is when at the end of the night, everybody's sitting in the suite, and Nat Moore walks in, and he done had a long game, and all he wants to sit down and pop one open. Nat can go because he know everybody business. So we getting dirty, we getting the good, we getting the bad. Like Nat is gonna make sure that like he tells all the stories. One of the favorite stories that he told back in the day, how guys used to, when they were at St. Thomas Aquinas, like not St. Thomas University. Man, they used to practice. He said, "Yeah, right before practice, they're getting the ankles taped. Man, the guys would be up in there smoking a cigarette. It's almost like you see them like a little mini club right before the game. I mean, he tells all those stories how they didn't even practice before the season. Everybody came in out of shape, and they would get in shape at practice. But he tells those old school stories that people forget about because he's been there for a long time. So he's my all-time favorite.
And Twan, I always tell people when people ask me about the alumni bases, and I'm like, it's funny you talk about because even Dwight Stevenson's there, Larry Little. I love talking to Larry Little because he's just mad at the world and he cusses. I love dudes. Twan, I know you don't cuss, but I love dudes that just cuss for no reason. But it's the alumni base. Like when I tell people that the Dolphin alumni base and that alumni day is better, I would say the Pittsburgh Steelers, because I've been with Ryan Clark and Joey Porter to some of their events. But the Dolphin alumni base and what Garfinkel and Stephen Ross and just going deeper into the organization, what they do for alumni is special.
I'll tell you, and when Mr. Ross bought the team, he really leaned into who we are because he's from here. So he wanted to go back to who we are. Even when Tom came in, Tom wanted to go back. I remember talking about the old logo with such reverence. Like he enjoyed that rustic feel of the Dolphins. He wanted to embrace that 72. And now you have two leaders in the organization that embrace our history. So they're very secure in themselves. So they don't mind bringing the old guys in to be a part of the program and to give back. Because when you know your history, you can create new history. But if you don't know your history, unfortunately, you'll probably do some things that you shouldn't have done. And they are always talking about a history, always pointing us in the direction, hey, this is who we were and this is where we're going. And they've been working to get us to that, to a championship. And I'm excited about what they're doing. And to have that event that they had with Zach was absolutely breathtaking. The whole night I was sitting there thinking like, man, this is so cool. I saw guys from every single era, guys I played with, guys I watched growing up with. Like my favorite linebacker growing up was John Offerdahl. Like I loved the way John Offerdahl played. I enjoyed him as a thumper, and to see him and to see his wife and to hang out with him, and now we're brothers. Like for me, that's something that I can't pay for, and to see all these legends, man, around you who built the Dolphins, who have helped. Who've left their fingerprint on the organization, to see the organization embrace them and have them around and continuously invest and come out. It was just a special event. And then obviously to see Zach stand up there, man, like he's so eloquent about, what the organization means to him, and to hear him just talk about his truth with the Miami Dolphins and how much they invested in him. But, we all talked about how much he's invested into the organization. It was a beautiful event. It was probably one of those events I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. I mean, to see, what's his name? Gosh, Lee, I forgot his name. Defensive tackle. Whatever. I can't think of his name. Timbo, yeah. See, Timbo was holding court in the corner. Yeah. He sat in that corner. Everybody came to Timbo. We had to all come kiss the ring because because I ain't lie. When I played with Timbo, I stayed out of his way. You know what I mean? He like, hey, little fella, I'm going to keep him off you. You make the tackles. So, I mean, I stayed out of Timbo way. I was a little scared of Timbo. Timbo make you go to the bathroom of yourself if you ain't careful. So so we all came over and say hello to him. Like, be real now. Okay, who's that 100%. One guy you played with? Who's that one guy you played with? If you weren't careful, you ain't say the right thing, he might make you tinkle on yourself.
Twan, it's funny because I heard stories about Timbo and I was scared of him, not even playing with him, because I heard Timbo and Daryl Gardner, if you say the wrong thing to them, they'll choke you against the wall and your life's going to end. Like I heard stories about my man.
Yeah. Yeah. They're the nicest guys in the world.
Yeah. My man was Keith Traylor. Like that was my fishing buddy. But everybody used to be like, Crowder, man, can I talk to Keith? And I'm like, man, go talk to Truck. He's a nice guy. No, Crowder, he's not a nice guy. I'm terrified of him because he's 380 pounds and he always looks mad. But Twan, you said something earlier about how eloquent Zach is. When did that happen? Because me and you both know he's not eloquent. When I saw him at the Hall of Fame, I was like, he must have practiced this 100 times. How is he speaking this nice?
But he's always been eloquent. But every time we see Zach has different parts of himself. Like game day Zach he's crazed, eyes wide open, sniffing, smelling salt right before he get on the field. Unintelligible. Only the team is the only people that can understand what he's saying. So you have the game day Zach, but then you have that guy that's laid back in the locker room, laughing, chilling, and then you have the family Zach. See, we seeing family Zach. We seeing Zach that ride his bike in the morning, come home, do whatever he do at the house, make sure to picking up the kids, loving on them, going to the game. That's the Zach we know. So we're hearing that Zach that used to play on that field. I don't know if he still exists. In fact, if we see that Zach, we probably gonna have to read about him on the newspaper. So he done suppressed that guy because he only held him for game day. And then so I mean, yeah, you're right. Because I'll tell you, we could pay him now. Like he speaks really well. He communicates. He got 3 points every time he talks. He's doing a good job these days.
You want to know who it was in radio? Athletes that you were scared of, that if you said the wrong thing, athletes who became broadcasters, who were frequent radio guests, where you were afraid that if you said the wrong thing, he might snap on you and break you in half. You know who it is in radio?
Who is in radio?
You want to guess?
Irvin.
Is it Dolphin? Give me a hint. I need a little bit of a hint.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was Juice.
Y'all was scared of Juice?
O.J. McDuffie, when he first got into broadcasting, man, was so tightly wound. Now, I've heard stories of the pickup basketball games, and he was tightly wound there, like he was still in his athlete days. When he broke into broadcasting, man, I would walk on eggshells around that dude.
I was gonna say,
no way
Timbo is 380,
no
Truck
way.
is 370.
OJ is
142.
He is put together, though. He is cut up. To me, OJ looks like Debo in Friday.
Because he was the only guy you knew at that time. That was the problem. You just didn't know anybody.
No, I'm telling you. No, I knew. And there were plenty of guys still to this day. Irvin is one of them. But you, Crowder, Aronde, Gino Torretta, Danny Connect. I mean, there's a bunch of guys, Troy Stratford, a bunch of guys. I'm telling you, you were careful about O.J. McDuffie because if you said the wrong thing, he was going to snap on you.
Twan, just agree with me. No one in the history of football has ever said that slot receiver's about to whoop my ass.
Ever.
Okay, you all keep trying OJ. You all keep trying OJ.
Yeah, boy, Wes Welker's hell now. Don't say nothing to that.
You all keep trying OJ.
Wait.
OJ. Trying OJ.
OJ, tell OJ I say you're a slot receiver.
Hey, let me clarify. Now, we all know OJ can be sharp. I done seen him on the field. I done seen him fight. I done seen him jump on people on the field.
Yeah.
But OJ also 185 pounds. Like, I know I can't just walk up on him.
185 pounds of fury. 185 pounds of anger.
Hey, I love OJ. But OJ ain't going to whoop me.
Someone text in Dan Cilio.
Ain't whooping nobody.
No, OJ, you guys have it misconstrued.
Maybe I just know OJ. Maybe I know OJ through a different lens. OJ, I mean, now on the field he can be sharp. Just like Daryl Gardner. I mean, Daryl Gardner is one of the like he's a switch guy. Like, he is lovable, and he talking, and you sitting there hanging out by your locker, and all of a sudden he looking at you. What you say? I ain't say nothing, dog. I ain't say nothing. That wasn't me. Hey, I think you misheard me. Like, Timbo be cool. Come on, man. Come on. Then when he turned around, I told you to make that daggum tackle. Yeah, you're right, Timbo. My bad, dog. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean that. I made a
Exactly
mistake.
what
It was all
happened
on
with
me.
OJ. I go.
I don't feel that way with OJ.
Let's read your live spot here. What'd you say to me?
Now,
I
OJ
didn't
was
say
my
anything.
neighbor. He
I'll
might
read a
roll up
live
and
spot,
try to fight
OJ.
me.
I don't even have a live spot. I'm gonna read a live spot.
But hey, Crowder, he saying he's scared of him about a live spot. Not on the football field.
Listen, I'm giving you the version in radio versus on the field. I mean, y'all talking about being scared.
That word.
Y'all scared of Daryl Gardner. Stop it.
If Hawk goes to Walgreens, Twan, and the lady says the ATM machine's not working, he's gonna say, "Don't worry about it, just put it back." Some of
those greeters are tightly wound at Walmart. By the way, I was just joking about Daryl Gardner because that dude looks sculpted out of a rock.
I've seen Daryl become unhinged. And I was not going to go over there and help the situation. I'm like, why am I going to go over there and put my life in danger? I got 3 kids. Me and my wife barely married, and my life insurance policy not right. I ain't going over there. I go over there, he messing my face. Not going to happen.
Twan, we rode buses when Cam Cameron's year. We had to ride buses back from the airport because Cam was goofy. I've told the stories a number of times. He wouldn't let us drive to the airport. We had to drive to the facility and then take buses to the airport. Truck got into a fight with some dudes on the plane. And then they're going to tell me Truck is mad, Crowder come get him. I said, y'all pissed him off. I'm not coming to get him. That's my buddy. Like, I know what mad Truck looks like.
Listen, man, that's how I'm gonna act when OJ's going off on YouTube. I'm just going to mind my own business at the avocado truck.
Well, first of all, me and OJ not going to get down like that. I can talk myself
the way you keep talking about him on the air, I'm not so certain, Twan.
OJ is a reasonable person. OJ is a reasonable person. I'm be like, OJ, hey, man, it's not what I expected. I apologize, man. And he going to be like, all right, Twan, now you my dog, we good. But Tim Bowens, he get wound up. Tim is a lovable dude, but once he crossed that line and he see red, I am not trying to explain anything to a Tim Bowens or a Daryl Gardner.
You can't turn him off.
They're going to have to catch me. If they want some of this, they're going to have to catch me, and they're going to have to catch me from the back because I'm going to be running the opposite direction. Like I told you, my life insurance not right yet. So they're not going to put me in the ground, have my wife around here worrying about how she's going to pay her bills. My kids talking about, my daddy this. They're going to past tense. That's not going to happen. You're not going to whoop me. And then put me on Instagram. Not gonna happen.
Come on, I got 17 years left on my term. If me and Timbo fight, I need to be in the next 17 years.
I'm gonna run for 17 years like Forrest Gump.
Trying to get my retirement.
I actually should let him catch me before the 17
hit the term.
Over,
hit the
so
term.
I can get that money because after that it's over.
All right, Twan Russell, we gotta go. You were a perfect fill-in for Javon Holland. We appreciate it, Twan. By the way, if you want info for the pickleball tournament for Twan's Russell Education Foundation, it is their first ever pickleball tournament. You can go to russelleducationfoundation.com. That event is going to be when? November 12th?
Yes.
November 12th. You practicing your pickleball?
I have not picked up. I picked up my first racket today just to look at the logo. I have not used it at all.
All right. There you go.
I'm going to be ready, though. I'm going to be ready.
We'll see what happens on November 12th. We'll see what happens. All right, Twan Russell. Thanks, Twan.
All right, take care, guys.